Guys, most people don't stay broke because of income. They stay broke because they never stop certain behaviors that support being broke. Here are 9 things that you must stop if you want to be rich, okay? So the first thing you need to stop if you want to be rich is wasting time. You cannot build wealth with leftover hours in the day. Wealth is built in the focused hours of the day, intentional hours. The same person who says they have no time to learn about stuff like investing and stocks and bonds and all the different high yield savings account, the same people that say, I have no time for that stuff, they end up watching 3 hours of TV. They end up watching the long movie on Netflix, right? Or scrolling on their phone for hours, or arguing with some strangers online for an hour, right? Time is the raw material of wealth. If you really think about money, money is simply stored up time. When you waste time, you are literally spending your future income before you even earn it, okay? Here's the reality. A person who protects their time aggressively has a greater chance of being rich eventually. And the person who mismanages their time, they're going to find themselves with less and less money along the way. The first thing you have to do if you want to be rich is not to go pay someone else a lot of money. Instead, you have to just pay a lot of attention to what you're doing. Now, the next thing that you must stop if you want to be rich is giving in to fear. Fear keeps you researching for too long. Fear keeps you studying and thinking forever and never actually doing anything. You know, I'm not ready yet. I want to learn more first. I'll start when things calm down. Those days never happen. See, fear disguises itself as preparation. When wealth requires imperfect action, that's what wealth requires. You don't have to have it all together to get started, but you got to get started to ultimately have it all together. So you just got to take the action. Punch fear in the face and do what you got to do it anyway, despite the presence of fear. Think about it. You didn't apply for the job because of fear. Maybe you didn't start your YouTube channel because of fear. Maybe you didn't speak up when you should have spoke up because of fear. You didn't invest more money into your 401k because you were scared of the stock market, right? Whatever it could be. Fear keeps people broke, right? Every investor you respect or anybody that you know is building wealth, they all started when they was confused, when they didn't know. Every business owner that you know, they started that business unsure and full of fear, but they started the business anyway. That's the point. You can't let fear stop you. You don't get confidence and then go do something. You do something and the confident will come along the way, right? The confident has to follow action. Wealth is built by people who move before they feel fully ready. Now, the next thing that you must stop doing if you want to be rich is negative thinking. Your mind is an instruction manual to how you're going to behave. If you don't think right, you ain't going to act right. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't do that, I can't make it, I'll never get ahead, rich people are all just lucky, what happens is your brain stops searching for solutions. And instead of growing, you stay stuck. You slowly start becoming the negative thoughts that you've been saying to yourself about your situation. You don't rise to your potential. We all do, we're humans. We typically fall to whatever our beliefs are. So your beliefs and how you think are important. A negative mind doesn't just ruin your mood, it can ruin the financial decisions that you make because you're not going to attempt what you already believe is impossible. So you have to believe it's possible first, okay? Your financial life is never going to outperform the mental conversations that you have with yourself. Now that's negative thoughts. The fourth thing that you need to stop if you want to build wealth and be rich is you got to stop hanging around negative people. See, you can't build a positive financial future inside of a negative environment. The wrong people can have a wrong effect on you. The wrong people will make fun of you for saving money. The wrong people, they're going to criticize you for investing your money. What are you doing? Who do you think you are? Look at who does he think he is? Why is she doing all that, right? The wrong people are going to call discipline boring. Why? Because when you start progressing, it confronts negative people's poor choices. If everybody around you is financially struggling and comfortable with it, they will unconsciously pull you back down to average, right? They're not going to want to see you climb up out of the bucket. They're going to be that crab pulling you back down. When you're not trying to be average no more, you want to change. You ever had higher aspirations than the people around you? If you have, just let me know in the comments below if you can relate to what I'm saying. It ain't fun. Trying to build wealth around negative people is difficult. Your income eventually resembles the expectations of the people closest to you. If they are negative and have low expectations, that's exactly what that friend circle of yours is going to get. And so you want to rise up. You got to stop hanging around negative people. Now, the next thing you got to stop doing if you want to be rich is, and I think this is number 5, is living a lifestyle that you can't really afford. Looking wealthy and being wealthy are opposites. Two different things. Stop trying to impress people. Wealth requires you to have in your personal financial life some margin. And you get margin by living below your means being your income. Most rich people or people that are building wealth, they're not the ones on IG flashing their wealth. Most rich people, they're spending time early in their lives, buying the freedom first, and then buying the luxuries later. Whereas broke people or people that continue to be broke, they buy all the luxuries up front, and then they're forced to keep working for their freedom later. Quick pause. If you want a clear step-by-step system for actually managing your money and not just motivation, my book, Manage Your Way to Millions, lays out the exact structure, budgeting, debt strategy, investing, behavioral change, right? It's not a theory book, okay? It's a plan. The link is in the description box below. Now, let's continue. So the next thing you need to stop doing if you want to be rich is being stingy with your money. Let me explain that one. Being cheap and being disciplined are not the same thing. Stingy people, they avoid investing. Stingy people, they avoid helping other people with their money. Stingy people, they avoid learning. They avoid paying for tools and things that improve their lives. Stingy people, they save pennies, but they miss a lot of opportunities. Or in other words, let me say it differently. Stingy people, they step over dollars just to save some dimes. Wealthy people, or people that are building wealth or on their way to wealth, are selective spenders. But giving and helping other people on the way, that's the part of wealth building that most people never talk about. Think of it like this. Let me give you this quick analogy. A farmer who refuses to buy seeds, they're always going to have full pockets with a lot of money, but they're also going to have an empty harvest. See, giving and helping other people has to be a part of your wealth building plan. How do you do it? You just pour into the cup of other people. And when you do that, it helps fill up your cup too. Now, the 7th thing that you got to stop doing if you want to be rich is you got to let go of the ego. People always say, I'll just figure that out by myself. That right there could cost you 5 or 10 years trying to figure it out yourself. You got to stop working in a silo and get the help that you need. See, successful people, they use books, right? They use mentors and systems and education and classes and conferences, not because they're incapable by themselves, but because they value time. And you don't have a bunch of time to try to figure everything out on your own. I learned this as a landlord with rental property. There's things that you just don't have the time to sit there and try to figure out. You let the experts do what the experts do. Even though I got this ego, I want to change this and repair this and replace this myself. But look, at some point, I don't have the time to learn how to do all this other stuff and do all this by myself. I had to build a team, a handyman, a plumber, a roofer, a landscape person, people that do work that I don't have time to do. I had to let that ego go because here's what I learned. Pride delays progress, okay? Take the responsibility and get the help that you need to help you get to where you want to go. Now, the next thing you got to stop if you want to be rich is you got to stop passing the blame. Blame has never been a recipe for success anywhere. Blame feels good, right? Because you're getting the burden off of you, but responsibility is what creates winners. Right? It's not the economy. It's not the taxes. It's not your supervisor at work. It's not the president's fault. Your money is on you. You got to take responsibility. Stop passing the buck or kicking the can down the road or blaming other people. All the bad stuff is going to happen, right? Things happen, life happens. Nothing you can do about that. But it's your response to all that bad stuff that's going to determine your ultimate financial outcome. Look, two people can be living in the same country, same city, same salary, and have completely different financial lives because one adjusts and the other one complains and blames. The moment you stop blaming is the moment you start progressing. Responsibility is your superpower. No more blame. Now, the ninth thing that you got to stop if you want to be rich is you got to stop staying static. You got to keep learning. You got to keep growing. You got to keep building and keep producing and keep moving in the right direction. Wealth is not built by just receiving information. Wealth is built by adjusting to the changing situations all around you. You're going to change careers. You're going to adjust your budget here and there. You will refine your investments and where you're putting your money. You're going to grow. Most people want a permanent plan that don't change. Life is all about changing. There isn't no permanent plan that don't change. So your financial success is not a decision you make one time. It's a continued series of decisions you make over a long stretch of time. It's a behavior that you maintain by not getting stuck and staying static. Rich people are not the people who knew everything. They're just the people who kept changing and kept adjusting while everybody else was staying the same. So you can't stay static. Look, those are the 9 things you got to stop doing if you want to build wealth and be rich. If you want structure, accountability, and ongoing guidance, I work with my community every week inside Patreon. We deal with real financial decisions, and you sort of get a look at the back end of this whole operation I do. It's not theory, right? It's just a lot of work. If you're serious about fixing your money behavior, join me over on Patreon. The link is in the description box below as well. Look, if you got value, do me a favor and share this video with someone who you know and drop me a comment below. Until the next video, peace.